It's currently the 1st of November of 2024. I almost said 2020, which would have been incorrect because that was over 2 years ago. But yeah, so today is All Saints Day, so happy All Saints Day, everybody. I feel like if you could say happy Halloween, you could say happy All Saints Day, in my opinion. If you disagree with me on that, be sure to put it in the comments below this video and explain why. You know, because it's one thing to say, oh, I don't disagree, but it's another thing to support that versus just stating something, but do you actually have a claim saying something that could go against that? Just to see what you're thinking, because if you just say, oh, I don't agree with that, okay, but like, why don't you agree with that, you know? So we're just gonna wait for people to join our live here today. So, as we wait for people to join in, I'm just gonna like explain a little bit how my day's going, because it is a Friday, with it being November 1st. And did have all my classes. Interesting enough, with it being November 1st, that means the day prior was Halloween. And I went to my 2 classes today, and based on the class size, it should be, there was maybe 10% of the class showed up. Maybe 20, 30 people per class, where these are classes where it's like 300 in one class and then around 100 in the other, almost 200. Big lecture classes, right? And 20 people show up to class today because yesterday was Halloween, and I just find that interesting. Anyways, with it being All Saints Day, it did mean that means I did end up going to church today, which honestly, it's a good thing, because I haven't been in a while, because yeah. And so I'm just glad I went today, and I ended up taking some notes at church today. Today they did talk about the book of Revelations, and I think we touched one of the Gospels. I didn't write down all the scriptures, and what I did write down is how when the father was talking, the priest was talking, I did write down how saints are different than most of the lives we hear about or talk about in like even history books. And how, so that's why when you talk to saints and ask them questions and everything, and just ask them maybe for guidance or asking why, they're able to appropriately give you an answer because they already know you. That's why people say, oh, pray to Saint Michael the Archangel, pray to Mother Mary, pray to Saint Teresa or Saint Maria, Saint Paul, and Saint John. Like, there's so many saints. I can't even list them all because I don't even know all the saints. So, there's that. And the reason why the saints know who we are is because we don't become less human when we pass away. The only thing that happens when we pass away is that we like lose the flesh. We lose this like human form that we were gifted with. But you don't lose your spirit, your thoughts. And so saints, they like, in a sense, like learn everything about everyone. I would interpret that. Probably not the best way, but that's how I view it. So saints, they're anointed, I believe that's the correct word. They're anointed after their past, when people look over what they did in life and what they accomplished. And in fact, there's one saint that I don't remember her name. She was talked about in Mass today, of how she was raised up Jewish, but then she became atheist, but then she was in philosophy, and she read Mother Teresa's I believe, audiobook or a book about Mother Teresa, and she's like, wait, I agree with this. And then she started going to church, so she became a Christian and then a Catholic and then a nun, and how at some point in her life she was religious, but then she decided not to be religious. And even when she decided not to be religious, yet she found God once again. And then she continued to share the idea of God with others. And yeah, so that was discussed today. And it was interesting because that lady as well, who was Jewish, atheist, and Christian, then Catholic, she ended up writing books that she did. At that time she didn't know she would become a saint or anything, and she was writing books of how your faith may not align with everyone else. In fact, she was alive during the Holocaust and ended up going to one of the camps and ended up no longer being alive. And so later on, then after people read her writings and discovered her through her writings, that's another thing why I like writing, because once you're no longer physically on earth, people can only know you through your writings and whatever you document and whatever you write down. So yeah. And that's why, like, in the Catholic religion, at least for Roman Catholic, there's confirmation when you're, it's like around high school time is when you do confirmation, maybe a little bit earlier, but it's usually like when a person's like 13 all the way into 18, like that's like the general time it happens, but at the same time it can happen at any point, and it's the person's decision, the individual's decision that, okay, I want to go farther in this religion. And for confirmation, you have to choose a saint. The thing is, I was thinking about this during church, and for me, it was like, I remember this saint that I heard about when I was 10 or 9 or maybe 12, and I completely forgot about her until I had to decide my saint, and she was the first one that came to mind. And I think that's, I don't think it, like I chose her, I think she chose me, as a sense as she knows so much about me and she could like help me throughout my life. Now, I just thought of this today, and I honestly haven't been praying towards her at all since then. I honestly like forget about her because let's just say like my faith and everything, it's been a roller coaster. So, but I'll see, and I'll try that out and see how it goes, you know. But if you're doing confirmation, you don't quite know which saint you want to choose, that's okay. Pray on it, learn about different saints and everything, and the saint that you're supposed to, in a sense, be named after will come to you in due time. And then, oh, and one of the songs, it said, satisfy the hungry heart. And I took it, God satisfies our hungry hearts. Like those who are hungry to know him or to like find something, or like to know yourself, go towards God, because he will satisfy that. And I realize I'm just saying, like, restructuring the same sentence in a different way, because I don't quite know what that means. I just, like, that all I have is that God satisfies the hungry heart. Take that as you will. And let me see. Okay, I'm going to check some of these comments at the moment, because I just realized there's been a lot. Let me see. I'm only going to be reading things that are related to the live at the moment. Okay, I don't see anything that's quite related to the live stream topic at the moment, or this video's topic. But with that being said, also today in church I drew like a type of like flower. I don't know if somebody's supposed to see that today, but maybe someone needed a sign of a flower. So there's that. And then also drew the sign of the cross, like right there. If someone just needs to see that. Oh, sometimes in church, like, I just draw things, but maybe it's meant to be for someone else, because to me it doesn't really resemble that much, besides like being a flower and being a cross, you know? And yeah. But with that being said, we are going to be ending this live shortly, and if you want to continue your conversations, be sure to put it in the comments below, as well as if you want to join back in another live, be sure to subscribe and have your notifications turned on, so therefore you get notified when I go live and post videos. And be sure to check out the description and the shop so you could see different biblical merch as well. And we'll see y'all next time. Bye, y'all.